Thank you so much for joining me as we take a look at some upcoming niche games for the Nintendo Switch 2. And the first game that we're going to be looking at is Full Metal Schoolgirl. Now this game is a third-person action game third-person shooter where you play in a futuristic setting as a cyborg girl and you're fighting against these corporate machines, this corporation. But I'm going to go ahead and read a brief summary of the game that I got on the publisher's website, and I believe it is D3 Publisher who's publishing this game. Full Metal Schoolgirl. In this game, you go through tons of trial and error. In this action game, the battlefield is a 100-story skyscraper in which the internal structure changes every time you enter it. Eliminate Working Dead, the corporate zombie soldiers blocking your path to reach the top floor. Utilize the weapons and equipment that appear to defeat your enemies and use the rewards to strengthen and upgrade your character. Even if you feel powerless, remember you are not alone. The viewers of your live stream are cheering you on. Grow stronger with support from viewers and their donations. And this game is slated for a release date on October 23rd. This one definitely does look like a niche game. It definitely looks like it has that Japan style, definitely some fan service in there. It might be a good game. We'll have to wait and see on this one. And the second game that we're going to be taking a look at is Dear Me, I Was. Now this is a story-driven game that follows the life of one woman. It shows the joy, the sorrow, the growth, and the struggles of her ordinary life. Watercolor and rotoscoping come together to paint an interactive story, a story told through beautiful visuals combining the rich watercolor style aesthetics of Tasuke Kanasaki and rotoscope technology. Let the life characters take you on an emotional journey. And I'm sorry if I butchered that person's name. I'm not fluent in Japanese, but definitely respect to these developers and publishers of this game. Now this is coming by Arc System Works, and it is made by the same team that I believe made the Another Code Recollection remasters and those type of point and click adventure games. So this one looks like it's going to be heavily story driven. It does look interesting. The art style looks absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. This is one that I probably will check out, and this is going to be a smaller title from what I've heard. I believe it's just going to be a smaller digital only title for the Nintendo Switch 2. And the third game on today's list I really just wanted to highlight because it comes out later this week on Friday the 18th, and that game is Shadow Labyrinth. Now this is a game that basically takes Pac-Man and turns it into an action platformer Metroidvania. It's a brand new take on the platform Pac-Man series, and it does look great. It looks like it's going to be a good quality title. Unfortunately, I believe the Switch 2 version is just going to be a code in the box, but there is the Switch 1 physical version, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe I heard there may be a free upgrade for the Switch 2 version if you have the Switch 1 version, but you may want to Google that, do your own research, whatever. But yeah, this is pretty cool to see that this is coming out the day after Donkey Kong Bonanza, actually, so hopefully it sells decent at least. And the fourth game that I want to highlight for today's video is Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice or Ivalice Chronicles. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's really cool to see that this is getting a modern remake port, and in this game you can play like the modern version and the classic old school version if you want to play that way. So it's cool that they're giving players those options. This is coming to the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and from what I heard about this game, if you buy the Nintendo Switch 1 physical copy, you get a free upgrade for the Nintendo Switch 2 version. But if you buy the Nintendo Switch 2 version physically, well, you kind of got duped because it's going to be a code in the box. So I would suggest just picking up the Switch 1 version. That's what I'm planning to do with this release. And this is, of course, a strategy or tactical RPG, something similar kind of to like Fire Emblem from what the gameplay looks like. I never played Final Fantasy Tactics, but as a fan of Fire Emblem, I'm excited to try a different series of a strategy RPG, and I think I'll jump right in with this one when it releases on September 30th. The final game on today's list has a release date of August 27th, and that game is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. Now, this is a game that is remaking a game that came out back on the Nintendo DS, but expanding it even further, making it into an even bigger and better game, adding in new features like a glider straight out of Breath of the Wild, some new gameplay mechanics, but Story of Seasons is basically kind of like a farming life sim type of game, and this is getting a true physical copy for the Nintendo Switch 2 here in North America, priced at $60. So that is really cool to see right now, where we don't have a whole lot of true physical games for the Switch 2, that at least this one is getting a true physical copy. And speaking of true physical copies for the Nintendo Switch 2, for my next video, I will be doing a buying guide of true physical games for the Nintendo Switch 2. So if you're interested in seeing that, please stay tuned. And if you like the video and you haven't, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you watching, and I will catch you on the next one.